great to be back out on the London Loop, picking up from where I left off at Hayes and Harlington, and carrying on today, I hope, down to Kingston. So doing two sections, 9 and 10, or as I do it in reverse, it's 10 and 9. Doesn't really make a difference, does it? Today is Bank Holiday Monday, 6th of May. It's a perfect thing to do really on a Bank Holiday Monday. It can be quite dull affairs, can't they, really? This first section takes me back along the Grand Union Canal for a little bit, and then I think I pick up the River Crane. So, by all accounts, a few people have been in touch to tell me that this is a really delightful stretch of the London Loop, that I'll really enjoy it, so I'm really looking forward to it.
The London Loop is a 150-mile long orbital path that runs through the outer suburbs of London. It's like a M25 for walkers. It's divided into 24 sections. I started at Enfield Lock in January 2018.
There's quite a lot of industry in this section of London, as we witnessed on the previous leg. Hayes is the headquarters of Nestle. I'm not sure what this once was. When you see a site like that being demolished, you think about all the memories that would have been wrapped up in that place. People would have worked there for years, wouldn't they? Those kind of big industrial sites, those big factories. Imagine how they'd feel to see it looking like this. It looks as though it might even be part of the Nestle factory. I'll have to look up what's going on here. There's an incredible smell of hawthorn blossom along the towpath here. It's quite an interesting stretch of towpath from that demolished factory over there to this. I don't know what this is. It looks like, again, the wreckage of an old office or something in the car park of this new looking office building right on the towpath. So here we have the River Crane making its way beneath the canal. I remember seeing this before, actually, around sunset, about 5 or 6 years ago. And it carries on in that direction, which is the direction in which we'll be walking. We'll be going up along the road and then picking up the river path. And here are our little friends today. That lovely London Loop sign, pointing the way ahead. This is quite an elaborate, brutalist ramp, taking you up off the towpath onto the road. This is real Edgelands territory. This kind of undergrowth along the towpath, the water, the canal and the river, the electricity substation over there on the left, the old industrial units crumbling into rubble, the new build offices, classic stuff, and of course the arterial road slicing through it all. Just a little bit of road walking now until we get onto the River Crane. So we're right on the border here of the London boroughs of Hillingdon and Hounslow. Isn't that a fine building? It's the electricity substation, a real cathedral to the electric age. I think this is the London Loop, but I'm not 100% sure actually. I should probably get my map out, shouldn't I? Just had a really lovely chat with a fella back there. Just came out of his garage. And I was looking for the footpath. There we go, look at this, gotta go under here. And he pointed me in the right way. I mean, I think this is the right, it's the Hillingdon Trail, which I think is pretty much the same at this stage as the London Loop. Started the London Loop, I think, it's like January 2018. because I didn't really know where else to go, and I just couldn't think of another walk, and I did the section from Enfield Lock to Trent Park, which was amazing, actually. I think it's still my favourite section, and I've been coming back to it, and it just never disappoints. I was really looking forward to getting out here today, because you're almost guaranteed a great walk. I wouldn't mind seeing a London Loop sign, just for a little bit of reassurance, if you like. And I'm certain this is the way. A lovely bit of meadowland here. Here we go. Should never lose faith. I think the London Loop probably doesn't take that little detour, maybe by the river, I'm not sure. We carry on now. Oh, look, the last of the bluebells. It's been an amazing display this year. There's a lovely little strip of woodland here. It runs alongside the River Crane. Really delightful. So now the London Loop takes us through the St Dunstan subway, which I believe was put here as a compromise to connect the parishioners of Cranford to the church, St Dunstan's Church, Cranford, which I've been meaning to visit for a while, and hopefully I'll show you why very shortly. This must be the ruins of the old manor house, I guess. Or a farm, perhaps? This is quite spectacular and unexpected. A walk amongst the ruins. From the Nestle factory to here, Cranford Countryside Park. So the London Loop goes this way, down beside Cranford Church. The reason Cranford Church has been on my list for a while is it's the burial site for the great comedian Tony Hancock. Hancock's Half Hour. I'm sure you'll all be familiar with that epochal work. My dad was a big Hancock fan, so I grew up having these lines recited to me, and you know, a lot of my comedy friends, if you like, big fans of Hancock. Huge influence. I committed suicide very sadly. So somebody told me, who'd walked the London Loop, sorry I can't remember exactly who it was, that that his burial site is just outside the walls because they wouldn't bury a suicide within the consecrated grounds of the church. So there's other interesting burials here. This one's interesting. It's the body of Susanna Short, who looks like she died on the 14th of June 1671, but below there's some fresh flowers there, so she must still have family who visit this grave. It's quite lovely, isn't it? The parkland in there. So here it is, the memorial to Tony Hancock at the far end of the churchyard. Facing the other way, I'm told, not actually because he committed suicide, it's just the way they decided to do it. His remains aren't here, it's just a memorial stone for him and his mother being a local person. So the church dates from 1310, a very nice lady inside told me. Which is kind of incredible, but apparently there is an older Saxon church that was on this site that it replaced. So there's been Christian worship here for many, 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 many years. That's interesting. It says here, settlement began here as early as the late Bronze Age, early Iron Age. And it was a settlement of a Saxon called Dunstan. And of course the Templar Association with this area and with the church. It's interesting, that's the memorial that we saw inside the church of Astor Memorial in St Duns, showing Sir Roger with his 2 wives and his daughter. And the house that we saw before, the ruins, is the Berkeley family, not the banking family, but the family of the Berkeley Hunt. And this was their country seat. So the London Loop cuts across Cranford Country Park, across this ancient landscape. And I imagine back to the river down here. See, we're on the approach run into Heathrow here. So the next section of our journey will be peppered with planes. Always nice to see this guy pointing the way ahead. What a lovely little brook meandering through this little bit of woodland here. I wonder if it has a name. I wonder if this is the Yedding Brook indeed. Down Cranford Lane. Not your typical London road. This is that strange kind of airport territory. You've got these hotels here stretched along the main road. I think this might be the A4 actually, it might be the Great West Road. After all the bombardment of the aeroplanes, it's easy to miss this little alleyway that leads off between the houses in this little suburban estate into what looks like a recreation ground. This is River Crane Park. Hopefully be reunited with the River Crane very shortly. It is quite intense the way the planes just come right over the tops of the houses here as you walk through that estate. It's insane. Of course the sound is ferocious. I don't know how the people cope with living here. Just checking on the right route here, look. London Loop signs, it's always good. There's a wonderful sort of contrast between the beauty of this bit of open space here and the brutality of the roar of the jet engines as they come into land at Heathrow, which is just the other side actually of this open space. So I think we're coming up to the end of section 10 of the London Loop here. I'm not entirely sure where section 10 finishes and section 9 begins, because it is just really a continuous loop of, I put the amount of miles on the screen, I can't remember, I think it's 24 or 25 sections. So you don't have to just do them as I've been doing them in blocks, but that's just convenient. They do that for the sake of transport, ease of access, I guess. Here you go, there's a sign up here. We have a clear direction here, heading towards the main road. I think of the sections, the London Loop I've done so far, this is by far and away the most liminal, the most interzonal, if I'm using that term correctly.
I mean, in the 80s I was very interested in interzones, what I called interzones after the Burroughsian term. I was really very interested, and Nick was as well, in liminal places that existed, particularly the border between the urban and the rural, or Rus in Urb, or Urb in Rus, those kind, so in a way those three states are all aspects of each other.
There it is, Heathrow Airport. remember the first time I came here to watch my my cousin go off on holiday, and it was unbelievably exciting. I actually can't remember the last time I flew from Heathrow. It'll be a few years now. My most recent flights have all been from Stansted. So the London Loop takes us along this main road here to the next section of the loop, heading down now across Hounslow Heath towards the river and crossing over to Kingston. So this is the end of section 10 at Hatton Cross here. I'm going to carry on now onto section 9, Dick Turpin Way. Fantastic, of course. Hounslow Heath, heavily associated with highwaymen. It was known as Highwayman's Heath. So let's walk in a really big loop. I came out over there and I had to walk all the way down past. We can see that massive hotel in the distance, cross over and walk all the way back up this road. I'm hoping the footpath is just here, because here's the river, and the footpath should be beside the river somewhere. Yep, and here it is. Wonderful. This is called River Crane Park Causeway Water Meadows. Oh, being that close to Heathrow Airport, it's really given me a pang to go travelling. It really stirred those spirits in me. I was just trying to remember the last time I took a flight from Heathrow and went a long way. Probably the last time I went any sort of distance would have been to LA, I guess, and that was, what was it, a bit 8 years ago, I think. And in a way, the walks that I do around London are really a continuation of the backpacking I did in my 20s. And I came back to England, kind of got a feeling that we were going to probably be staying here. I thought, well, you don't actually have to stop travelling just because you stay in one place. You can continue the spirit of travelling with you wherever you are. You don't need to fly to Thailand or South America. You can just explore the environment around you as if you were on an epic journey. And that's really what I'm doing. That's what my book, This Other London, really was about, actually. Anyway, better crack on. Did that last section really slowly. And now I have about 4 hours till sunset, and I think it's about 7.5 miles. I have enough time, but not if I go at the pace I did before. This is a bit different. I actually would have walked past it. I realise now, I think it's saying you've got to go down the stairs. That's why it's a slightly different type of sign. I nearly walked past this. So we're going to go under the road. I think this is the most beautiful stretch of the crane that I've been along yet. Really delightful. The London Loop is not a walk without its challenges. Here we have a fallen tree across the path that I'm going to have to scuttle under. Wish me luck. And now we go into Donkey Wood. And now we walk along this plank walk through the boggy undergrowth. Donkey Wood. What a fantastic patch of woodland here. Within the Heathrow zone. You can see it through the undergrowth, but there's a bit of a ruin here by the side of the river, this weir, which would make me think that it's some sort of old mill. Look, a bit of brick building here. Look at this. It's beside this particularly fast flowing bit of the river. And we have some kind of bits of machinery here on this channel, so I suggest there was some sort of watermill here. We get across the Staines Road here, which is an old Roman road. So we're now entering Brazil Mill Wood. There's a moment when I thought I might not be able to find the footpath, but in case you intend to do this, it's sort of hidden beside the jet garage there on the Staines Road. There to refresh any Roman chariots passing by, of course. And the London Loop continues along beside the waters of the River Crane for now. It's interesting, this almost this entire western section of the London Loop has been beside water, I think pretty much from Harefield to here. I don't know how much further we follow the water. We go across Hounslow Heath, but then I think we may rejoin the River Crane. But anyway, either way, it's been a very long stretch of walk alongside quite glorious waterways. Been a fairly gloomy day, but now it's just after 5 o'clock, I think, and the sun has come out and it's glorious. Not forecast, incidentally. There's a lovely fox just sleeping down here in the sun. I think this is an old bit of the sewage treatment works here beside the river. And now we follow the London Loop over this bridge onto Hounslow Heath, which is something of a return for me. Wow, here it is. Hounslow Heath, Highwayman's Heath. It's unclear if this burnt out car here has been dumped here or placed here as some sort of piece of public sculpture. There's another one just up there, which is what pricks my interest and makes me think this is some sort of statement of intent. So Hounslow Heath is the destination in the first chapter of my book, This Other London. And I did that walk that ended here on Hounslow Heath almost 7 years ago to the day. It was May 2012 when I did the walk. I didn't kind of come here today for that reason, actually. I just did the next sections of the London Loop and happened to bring me here. But I haven't really been back here since I came here in the winter of 2014 with some people from Radio 4, and they recorded me talking about it for a drama they were making, where they used my stories of the highwaymen on the heath as part of the sort of ghost story thing. But the hawthorn blossom was a real feature of the walk that day as well, which was a glorious walk that started at Gunnersbury and wound its way westwards out to here. There is so much history associated with Hounslow Heath. I could do a whole spiel on it, which I won't. But it was known as the place for highwaymen. It was known as Highwayman's Heath. A number of famous highwaymen used to plague the roads that run through, the main roads, the Great West Road that runs nearby, because this is only a fraction of the original heath. The original heath was vast, thousands of acres. And now it's been plagued by motorbikes. But it's also where some of the very early flights took place, including the first flight from Europe to Australia, which is a wonderful story that I recount in my book. Of course, Heathrow Airport takes its name from Hounslow Heath. The Heathrow was built on a section of Hounslow Heath. It's a really magical location. And actually, when I came here before, I didn't walk through this woodland here. I've strayed a bit off the London Loop, but I wanted to get back to part of the heath that I walked on when I came here for my book, and it was around here. It was a really special day. I'll never forget the feeling of that walk that day and the ending here, because it was the first walk for my first book, a book I've been imagining writing for many years, and it was finally happening. It was a really special moment to finish that walk and get the whole thing underway and then write that first chapter, which really launched the book. when I did these original talks for the book, I would open with Hounslow Heath, Highwayman's Heath, the gibbets along the Heathrow swaying in the wind. Magical stuff. So that's the bench where I sat and celebrated the end of the first walk for my book. And it gives you a good view of the heath. It's quite easy to lose your way on these heath paths. Some of them run into barbed wire fences, some of them disappear into a thicket. You go round in circles, as I've been doing for a little while. Which has been pleasant, but I think it's time to crack on. So we emerge from Hounslow Heath into this quite sort of sleepy housing estate here. We've got a little bit of doubling back along the road to do. Up along this road and then back onto the River Crane. Back to the calming waters of the River Crane and onwards towards Teddington. This delightful little island here was once the site of the Hounslow gunpowder mills, which were the largest gunpowder mills in Europe around the 1820s into the 20th century. And this is the shot tower where they used to produce the lead shot. And now it's this delightful nature reserve. Under the road here, and then on to the next phase of the walk. It's just coming up to 7 o'clock. I think we have to kind of snake our way around this housing estate again. Fantastic name for a street and absolutely perfect for this or any other walk. And along the Staines Road now, before we turn down towards Teddington and over the bridge towards Kingston. And down this gravel track that runs along the edge of the golf course here. Pretty tired today, making quite a hard going of what should be a fairly straightforward walk. But it's been really delightful. About another, I don't know how many miles we've got to go, but there's another hour of daylight and it doesn't look like an enormous distance to go. We're going to go over Bushy Park. I don't really know this part of London very well at all actually. And into Kingston. I've never been to Kingston before. I've been meaning to visit for many years, never been. It's interesting. I have seen quite a few people out on the loop today. Should we call them loopers? But they were all walking in the other direction, so they were doing it in the conventional clockwise direction. And they were all sort of clustered around the same sort of areas, either side of Hatton Cross. So the end of this section, if you're doing it the conventional way, I'm guessing that's just all people who are a little bit better organised than me. Maybe started around late morning, early morning, done a couple of sections, finishing up at Hatton Cross. Interesting, isn't it? I haven't seen anybody walking this way, apart from dog walkers doing little local walks. So we are now in Teddington, it would seem. Wow. There was a horrible moment when I thought the gates of this park, Bushy Park, were going to be locked. But they're not. I say, because it's about, oh look, warning. This is a royal park, Bushy Park, and there's deer. Wow. So we are right up here. I think the idea is to take in the Diana Fountain here and then go via the Heron Pond and come out there, or is it to come out here? I'm not sure. But anyway, we'll make our way down to we'll make our way down to there and see how we get on. Although there is a kind of London Loop route through Bushy Park down to Hampton Wick, I think you can sort of freewheel it, to be honest with you. I don't know why you would have to stick to that particular designated route. And that's exactly what I intend to do. So it's just coming up to 8 o'clock. Sunset is at 20 past 8. I don't think we're going to get much of a sunset. I was hoping for a nice sunset over the Thames as we approach Kingston, but it doesn't look as though that's likely. It's quite kind of gloomy and overcast. It's been a walk of so many different phases, hasn't it? You think about from Hayes and all that sort of crumbling factory at Hayes, and here we are in the Royal Park of Bushy. Here are the deer grazing in the meadow. This is truly an enormous park. Absolutely huge. So the light is rapidly fading now as I make my way across Bushy Park towards the River Thames at the end of what's been a majestic walk. There's that lovely damp grassy smell in the air. Smell I sort of associate with summer, spring and summer. Out now to Hampton Wick. Well, Hampton Wick's a little bit of a treasure. And that pub looks well worth a visit, but I haven't really got time. I want to finish the walk before I sit down somewhere. So this is the final little bit of the walk, just over Kingston Bridge into Kingston, where the King's Stone is located. I'll have to come back for that another day. So here it is, the River Thames at Kingston, and the end of my walk. What a majestic place to end a walk. I'm really tired actually, and I just looked at my health thing on my phone. It's saying I've walked 17.7 miles when I thought this walk today was 12 miles, so quite where the extra 5 came from. I have no idea. But the London Loop has delivered once again. Thank you so much for coming on this wonderful walk today on the London Loop. Look forward to seeing you on the next one, wherever that may be. And don't forget to look out for my walks I'm doing for London Borough of Culture. I'll put information on my blog. If you go to Waltham Forest Borough of Culture 2019, there'll be information there. I'll see you on some of those walks.